Hello there, friends, and welcome to episode 28. Is that right? 28? Gosh, forgot to check. Episode 28 of Cocktails for a Crisis. Been in the lab today trying to make a Scotch cocktail. I had some inspiration last night when I was texting with my friend Eric, and we were thinking about combining Scotch and bourbon, and I played around with that a little bit today, but I couldn't come up with anything that I wanted to share with you that wouldn't, waste the Scotch, basically, because just drinking Scotch on its own, you can't beat that. So I poked around in one of my favorite cocktail books, and I'll show you that one at some point. Just sort of looking for inspiration, and I found a drink called the Godfather, which has 2 ounces of Scotch and 1 ounce of Amaretto in it. And I tried that, but it was just a little too sweet, because the Amaretto, the almond stuff makes it really sweet. And so I played around with it and mixed in some of my favorite, my favorite thing, which is also kind of sweet, Cointreau. My friend Chris hooked me up with a nice new bottle of Cointreau. Thanks, Chris. And I came up with what I'm going to call the Fairy Godfather. Erica helped me come up with that. Actually, she came up with it herself. And then there's another drink called a Godmother that is basically just vodka instead of Scotch. And that one is a Fairy Godmother that we're going to make. And then I'll tell you about the Fairy Godson and the Fairy Goddaughter at the end, if I remember. So let's start off here and make the Fairy Godfather. Remember, regular Godfather is just Scotch and Amaretto, but we're throwing in the Cointreau and a little lemon juice to make it, give it a little zip. So you take your mixing glass and you put in 2 ounces of Scotch. I use Dewar's because that's what my dad used. And I don't want to waste any of the good single malt. And then we're going to put in a 1/2 ounce of Cointreau. A little orangey, I like the orange. And then we'll put in a 1/2 ounce of the Amaretto. I always think of my friend Sam Callahan with Amaretto. There you go, a little of that. And then we're going to just put in like maybe a teaspoon of lemon just to give it a little zip. There you go. Stir that around. And we'll shake it. Oops. Good. So we're going to serve this. Now I'm going to have this one up. I'm going to have this one up, and then I'm going to have the Godmother. We'll have it on the rocks because this one's pretty cold. And you stir in your stirring glass there. I guess if you put a little lemon, technically you could use your shaker. You're going to be radical. Remember, you use your shaker when you got juice, but there's so little juice in there. We'll put that in. All right. And our Nick and Nora glass. So that's enough. And then I'm going to add a lemon twist on this one. Some oils in there. Like Scotch. Add a little lemon that makes it taste good. Kind of go like that to get some oils out and kind of twist it a little bit. Like so. Drop that in there. Bloop. Smells pretty good. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like this. And then, so that's the Fairy Godfather. And then the Fairy Godmother, I gotta rinse out my mixing glass here. It's got a little smoke on the back, a little smoky peatiness, which some people don't like, but I think Eric and I like that one. All right, and then I'm gonna rinse out my jigger here, sorry. We'll do the Fairy Godmother, which has vodka. So 2 ounces of vodka. A 1/2 ounce of the Amaretto. So 1/2 ounce of Cointreau. That. Just a little touch of lemon. rocks in our mixing glass. So, I'll go ahead and put some rocks in. Alright. Alright. So that'll be nice and short and ready. You don't stir it quite as long. Good. Put it on there. Nice. Add a little lemon. So good. So now you can also make a godson or a goddaughter. And you basically take those recipes and you add an ounce of cream. We tried that and it was not very pretty to look at and it tasted okay. But if you like the milk drinks, the punchy kind of drinks, you can give that a whirl. So we'll give this one a taste, but I wanted to give a shout out to my brother David, who turned 63 on Wednesday. Happy birthday, David. I love you. And here's to all of you. Cheers. Pretty good. Sweet.